It is Saturday, December 14th, around 7:45 in the morning, and I have found this, which I believe is posted by Luigi Mangione, and I'm going to call it an essay through the duration of the video in case I can't say this word, but I do understand the difference between the two. Now, I've been a journalist since 1998. I understand the implications of sharing an essay publicly. I also know that the police shared excerpts of what they called the essay already. So clearly they don't see releasing portions of the essay as a threat to the public or other people. I've read this particular essay I found online last week, and there are no direct threats. No company is named, no person is named, no acts of violence are even said. As a matter of fact, any lawyer could argue the writer of this essay says the actions I take today, and the date of the essay is December 3rd. So the crime occurred December 4th that we all are seeing in the news, the crime we are seeing in the news. So I'm sharing this because I expected legacy media to find it and validate it or discredit it, and that hasn't happened yet. And so I thought, it's been enough time. Several essays have been floating around, and this user dissected the essay that was made public by the police, and I agreed with everything she said. She said the essay that's floating around out there now sounds like something written by law enforcement trying to write like an Ivy League educated person. And I agreed with everything she said, and I've read police reports for years and heard law enforcement testify a lot. But the thing that I could not agree with in the essay released by the police was the reference to Michael Moore. I just thought that was a very odd thing for a young man to reference because that is a very Gen X coded reference. Okay, so let me show you what I found last week. Now, many people already probably found this website. This was actually the Twitter handle, so that's not new information, right? And this goes to GitHub dating back, 2016, I believe. I saw these videos finally the other day on TikTok and was like, oh, okay, well then this website has been found. And here you have the links to the pages that we've all looked at. But there's no hamburger, there's no menu. However, this is on here. Again, there are no specific calls to violence. No one is named. No company is named. This is written by someone who was Ivy League educated. This is written by someone with a high level of education. I understand there are people on here who can validate the credibility of this website and look through it. I think, again, this does not specifically say any reference to an actual crime, what was going to occur. It does say, look beyond the sensationalism that will inevitably surround my actions. But again, it does not say what those actions are. I think that a lawyer absolutely will be able to find the loopholes in this if this is tied to a specific crime. And from what we're learning online, I think a lot of this lines up much more than the other essay that we have seen released. He mentions the overall metrics of health, infant mortality rates, maternal health outcomes, life expectancy compared to other industrialized nations. Tell a story of persistent failure, regression, and moral collapse. These discrepancies are not accidental. They are symptoms of a system that never had true universal care at its heart. When we say healthcare, we summon a reassuring image of a caring physician at a patient's bedside. Yet, observe more closely, that bedside is now crowded by administrators, insurance adjusters, corporate attorneys, and pharmaceutical representatives. The doctor stands there, to be sure, but they are outnumbered, outmaneuvered, and often overshadowed by the intricate lattice of profit-oriented bureaucracy that defines the modern medical world. When the patient cries out in pain and seeks relief, the response that returns to them is not simply that of healer ready to help, but of a cost-benefit analysis weighing whether their suffering is worth alleviating given the balance sheets. We are told that competitive markets improve quality and lower costs. This is the refrain of our times, the economic dogma that has been allowed to infiltrate even our perception of sanctity of human life. But if competition were truly the engine of improvement, why do we witness skyrocketing prices for common drugs that have existed for decades? Why do hospitals close in rural areas, leaving entire regions bereft of care for hours around, simply because the population density is too low to justify investor interest? Why do insurers find convoluted ways to deny claims, to pile up obscure terms and conditions, all to ensure that their profit margins remain robust? The very first paragraph says, "My decision to articulate this scathing condemnation arises not from hatred of humanity, but from a profound love for what humans could be if only we tore away the veil." Again, there is no specific reference to violence. There is no call to violence. No one is named. No one is targeted. No company is named nor targeted. So I hope that you read it. I hope that you consider it. And if anyone is able to discredit the validity of this, as this website is tied to Luigi Mangione, I'm more than happy to take this video down.